Thousands of people drive across it every day. Tourists come from all over the world to admire it. The Golden Gate Bridge. It's a Bay Area icon. But we discovered some important maintenance work hasn't been done in decades. Why not? KPIX5's Jeffrey Schaub got some answers starting across the bay.
This may look like just a simple work site, but it's not. These are Caltrans bridge painters hunkered down on a platform suspended midair, painting and repainting the underside of the western span of the Bay Bridge, a process that's been going on for over 9 decades.
If we don't paint the bridge, then the bridge rusts.
First they have to grind down the steel, then they smooth it out, then they apply 2 coats of primer, and then 2 coats of paint. And they have to do all that because they might not be back here again for 20 years. If I were to tell you that the cable on the Golden Gate Bridge has not been painted in its entirety since 1937, would you be concerned about that?
I'd be very concerned.
If you didn't paint the cable, could there be corrosion up there?
There'd be lots of corrosion.
And it shows. This is a side-by-side aerial view of both bridges. On the Golden Gate, virtually the entire length of the cable housing, think of it as a long tube, shows wear and tear.
You know, you raise a good point, Jeffrey.
To find out why this iconic beauty is so badly in need of a makeover, we sat down with Golden Gate Bridge General Manager Denis Mulligan.
So we have different time frames for different components of the bridge based on what's needed for those components.
Mulligan says the cable casing may look bad, but the 27,000 individual steel strands inside are pristine. But that could change if moisture seeps inside if the outer tube corrodes away. And the Bridge District has known about that threat for decades.
That's one small step for man.
In 1969, while Neil Armstrong walked the moon, a consultant engineering firm walked the bridge and issued this report recommending the main cable be painted ASAP. That never happened. Knowing that the entire cable had only been spot painted since the 1930s, 5.5 years ago, with great fanfare, the district announced that the entire cable would be painted, and they started the work, but then suddenly stopped. Current bridge engineers announced that the handrails on the cable needed to be replaced. It was all over the media. This was a big deal.
Yeah, my hunch is that the engineering evaluation had not been done, and at that time it was not known that the hand ropes were approaching the end of their useful service life.
Caltrans District Director Bijan Sartipi says painting the main cable is critical.
And a steel bridge, one of the main barriers that we use, one of the main line of defense that we have, is to paint it so that the bridge does not get rusted, so that the structural integrity of the bridge is not compromised.
And what about the Golden Gate's South Tower?
The South Tower appearance doesn't, meet what people expect when they come here.
Mulligan says it is purely cosmetic, but
South Tower, I've only known what I've seen, and it's there's a lot of corrosion there, and that's about all I've seen.
You mean rust?
Rust.
Even a member of the Golden Gate Bridge Board of Directors has concerns about the cable and the South Tower. Dietrich Stroeh is a nationally recognized civil engineer.
You've asked me if I'm concerned about it. Yes, I'm concerned about it. And that's why I was talking to staff about it. When are we going to get this moving?
Then there's the money. The Bridge District set aside tens of millions of dollars to paint the bridge back in 2011. But Stroeh says it was spent on other projects.
It's got to get put into the capital budgets to get it done.
Okay, so what happened to that money?
Well, we've got to use it other places.
Jeffrey Schaub, KPIX 5.
Now, just today, KPIX5 was able to obtain a copy of an internal budget document which shows that the Bridge District hopes to start funding a cable painting project by 2018, with the project possibly completed by 2022. That would be 85 years since the bridge opened.